versus Mineski. Game 2, VP are already up one game, and they're also probably the favored team as they have, much like last year, dominated the DPC circuit, already secured themselves TI, but as they've said, they're not really going to be letting up too much, and they're showing that here in the lower bracket, no mercy whatsoever in that first game against Mineski. Mineski, again, have chosen to go for sort of a three-core lineup where they need several heroes to be able to scale, but it feels like a lineup that's going to come on a lot faster, Blitz.
Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, Mineski's lineup, they have a good mix of damage. They have a good mix of damage types, physical, magic. That's why I was kind of confused at the Necro pick. But I think VP's lineup comes online real quickly as the Fissure's going to come in.
You're going to be your first blood unless the Fairy Fire? No chance. The last shot from no one will secure the first blood.
And it never feels good, giving first blood away to the enemy mid. That's nearly 300 gold. Most likely at least 3 of these bounty runes secured as Raging Potato. They might even get 4 here as the Nature's Prophet in position to get the 2-1s at bottom as
Raging Potato tries to set it up, does manage to grab that bounty rune, but still, Virtus.pro, I mean, Pasha was able to push back single-handedly, pushes back the opposing Mineski side, gets both those bounty runes at bottom, so 3 for 1 with the first blood going to VP as well. This is not a great setup for Mineski in game 2.
Yeah, if you got first blood plus all 4 bounty runes, that's the real mid-player's dream. Almost accomplished as he was just half a second late, Roger, on that fissure, and it's actually going to be Ramses in this mid lane.
Okay. Do you think that matchup is better?
I think Naga's fine. Like, you probably just trade out farm. It's hard for you to die. You've got high armor, so his right click into Sleight of Fist doesn't actually pressure you that much as top lane, the fissure.
Great fissure block. He's going to try and go for the splitter to stop some of his damage, but it's definitely dodged by Roger. And again, no one is the one to claim the kill.
Yeah, and that's going to be 2 early kills on this Necrolite. Probably the hero that I thought was going to struggle at least a little bit. I assume once he gets like Hood, he'll be fine. I remember I was told the trick with Necro is to not get fooled into thinking you need a BKB. I think that was Mad that said that in an interview. He's like, don't get tricked into buying BKB on Necro.
Yeah, obviously not a whole lot of synergy having that magic immunity with your Ghost Shroud as well. Not really working.
Raging Potato playing this support puck. Did play a very good Venge last game. Just didn't really have a lot of options on that hero.
It's funny, the panel was talking about it, and you know, I understood when Gonz was saying, like, you know, this is not the hero that I'm expecting out of Raging Potato, but a 3-position Leshrac, you know, I don't know how you feel about it, but I feel that this hero needs the net worth. He needs the farm. And in this sort of matchup, it's not a bad Leshrac game. I mean, you got the Necrophos, who's obviously going to be exposed to the magic damage, and this AoE damage against Naga Siren is also very welcome.
Yeah, same with the Nature's Prophet. Like, it's a hero that clears all of these heroes. And, I mean, he can get tanky enough, I think, to just straight up carry this game.
But they need to be able to have a better laning phase, and the current setup of the defensive tri-lane from Virtus.pro has secured the Necrophos total free farm on top of the 2 kills. You can see right now, Solo is doing what he's done so many times before, looking for the courier interception, but it actually headed out to bottom lane. So he's not gonna find it here. Maybe, no, there's no way. There's no ganking this mid lane for a Naga Siren on a full HP Ember, I don't think.
No, I think it's very unlikely. But Ramses, if you notice, like, he just backs out as soon as he pops the Flame Guard.
Yeah. Bottom lane, Pasha teleporting away. He will be fine, and he will come back to the lane quite soon with the natural teleport that Nature's Prophet has.
Yeah, did get a little bit low, but instead both supports now going to make their way towards this bottom lane. They want to try to pressure Moonn. They feel like they've given their Necro enough of a lead, I think, just to abandon him.
Yeah. And
sort of leave him up there to trade out farm. But they want to try to enable Pasha's game, and they're both down here, but the pull already happening.
Blitz, would I be remiss in saying it feels like the Virtus.pro supports move around the map like a lot more than other support pairs in top tier teams?
Yeah, it's because even though Solo buys all the warps, he still plays like he's a 4.
Yeah.
And that's pretty unique Just because when you see him on these lines and these disruptors, you always see him moving around the map. Like, he's at his heart a killer.
Yeah.
He does not want to be the passive, I'm going to trade farm out. Like, I think probably what I think of Solo is when he plays, he just goes around the map, sets up for kills, very offensive-minded player. He's not like one of those pull stackers, I'm going to get you ancients and I'm going to smoke for wards. He's like, I'm out here for blood.
I mean, like Disruptor, I feel like he's his signature hero. And he is also the most active disruptor I've ever seen in my life. Most disruptors, they like to just chill out in lane with their Thunderstrike, abuse that fact, but Solo actually moves around the map and ganks with level 1 glimpse and level 1 kinetic field oftentimes. So, and is very effective at it too. Moonn doing a little bit of battling here. 4-minute rune spawn, and it's actually top for Ramses, an arcane rune for him.
Yeah, and they are putting just pressure on this Dro. I think it's unlikely that she dies. She has enough stats at this point, but they are going to make the attempt anyways.
With the right Fisher block here, Moonn moves forward. At the same time, they're going to the top lane, leaving no one alone. The Ghost Shroud's going to protect him against the Diabolic Edict damage, and he is more than fine, while the Dro Ranger couldn't be more the opposite. Dies in the bottom lane.
Yeah, I'm surprised that they were actually able to set up on that. He barely got caught at the edge of that kinetic field, and Roger always managing to find the block out with the Earthshaker.
Another stun lands on no one. But again, it seems like with the double bracers, he's looking totally fine. Virtus.pro had just a very solid read on what this Puck and Leshrac can do. And one of those things, they cannot kill this Necrophos, it seems. 5-minute bounty runes spawned up, and it looks like Virtus.pro have full control of the top lane.
Why did it say the Dire killed Solo?
Looks... What?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I just saw that pop up, and I just assumed he suicided to a tier 2 situation. Why does it say the Dire?
Who knows? I hope that's just like a visual bug. And
all right. Hopefully we get eyes on that at some point with a replay or something. Ajit trying to chase down Solo.
Is going to get juked out, though, and doesn't have any levels of the chains as is usual nowadays.
Yeah.
So going to be unable to get the last hit on the captain. Roger making his way back down here. Moonn played the Dro last game. Had a rough time with the amount of pressure that they put on him. And it's just the pace that VP often sets with their two supports, like you said. Roaming around the map. They want to get in your face and aggressive at all times. They don't want you to be able to just farm and sit there and chill.
They should know he's here because they had a defensive ward, but maybe they didn't somehow. Roger, they lost sight of him as he was hiding in that hole, and will be able to get the Fisher stun, trying to go for the body block as well onto no one, Moonn, and they will be able to get the treants in front of him. Beautifully set up, tries to eat his way through the trees, does so successfully, finds a little shortcut to be able to get through. Now Ninja Boogie tries to return the favor onto Roger, getting in front of him, slowing him as much as possible because they have the puck here. It does manage to land the nuke, gets the silence as well to finish him up. Raging Potato, though, is now stuck inside the trees with Solo and Pasha beating on him. Ninja Boogie trying to help him out as best as possible. They do kill that puck. Moonn is a little bit low, and Solo says, screw it, I'm just going to go for the Dro Ranger, but he's a little bit too tanky. Now the physical damage turns back around onto Solo with a fresh round of treants. Look at him, he just turns around, gets the glimpse, throws that Moonn into position onto Pasha, but Ajit is potentially here to save the day. The Fire allows Moonn to be able to survive a little bit longer. Now he's got the healing self, and Roger realizes this is a suicide attempt that he's not going to be able to land onto Moonn. He tries to run away, but is futile in the end as Ajit will be able to pick up the double kill. What a big rotation from that Ember Spirit.
Very well done from the Ember, and even nicer from Moonn, finding those angles, surviving as long as he possibly could.
Pasha showing up. KP actually did not have any chance or anything. They have the ultimate from no one. Reaper's Scythe does not actually get the kill, so there's no extra death timer on the Leshrac, but they still secure the 5 for 5, 7.5 minutes in. A very even game so far for a laning phase.
I mean, we saw this in the last game. Mineski, I mean, the hallmark of a good team is being able to win laning phases, I think. And they were able to do so, at least in terms of individual skill. It also means that their draft, at least, is balanced for this portion of the game. And now they're going to commit towards this bottom tower. I mean, they had a very good start last game. It's really the mid-game team fights that I think will determine most of it. And so that's where I'll reserve judgment on how this game, if it looks any better from Mineski.
Virtus.pro lost their offlane tower, so they're trying to do the same here to Mineski, but Leshrac and Puck are easily able to defend.
And this tower is so hard to take, or normally is just because it's so easy for heroes on the Radiant side to rotate over. Your mid player can cut in from 3 different angles. As long as he has a ward on that high ground, he feels real comfortable just walking up boldly. And that's why Virtus.pro, when the Ember Spirit goes missing for a second, they back up.
I was kind of expecting the Ember Spirit to rotate top and try and shut down the Necrophos, but it seems like he put a larger priority in securing the Drow Ranger a better game, and Drow is suffering a bit, sitting at only 3,000 net worth compared to the other 3 cores. The Ember Spirit, Naga, and they are going to be throwing out that Fissure.
I love this rotation by him, by the way. He's not needed top.
Yeah.
But he is needed mid. He sees 3 heroes there, and I like this rotation even more from Mineski. They're going to put pressure on this top lane. They're just going to dodge around the map.
They just kind of keep going where the Necrophos isn't, right?
Yes, and more importantly, where they know people have committed TPs to.
Right.
They saw the TP commitment from the Necro towards this mid lane, so they're saying instantly, let's go there ourselves. It's very unlikely that VP can take our tower in mid, so let's just get a little bit out of everywhere.
And it helps that the 10-minute bounty runes are going to be spawning. No one is currently trying to get one of these runes, but the Jakiro has spotted him out. KP and Anjin are not rotating over yet. They're trying to get as much damage on this tier 1 as possible. No one goes for the defense here. We'll see whether or not Mineski want to try and commit on him, or if he's just a bit too tanky with this double bracer build. Pick up the bounty runes. Looks like they might think about returning to this top lane, though I'm not fully convinced. This is a level 8 Necrophos, and now he's got supports behind him. The pickoff here as the glimpse comes out from Solo. Solo, who, by the way, is level 6. They are going to use the Reaper Sight. That was a guaranteed kill, but they just want the added death timer, I guess, on this Jakiro.
Always feels nice to use it on supports, but no one immediately actually just goes back towards mid. He's sort of just being rallied around the map as Roger.
And I love this rotation from the Ember Spirit. He reads the TP's coming out. They're going to have to defend mid, so I'm going to head to top, try and pick off one of these supports. Failing that, I'll at least get this top tower. Mineski just keeps on running no one around the map.
Yeah, and eventually they are going to take the top tower. The mid tower gets denied, which isn't great, but positionally it's fantastic for you.
Yeah.
So as long as Mineski can now defend this mid tower and this bottom tower, they're going to be in a really good position when it comes to map control. They've taken 3 tier 1s. They're going to block this push at bottom lane. As long as the Jakiro's here on the side of Mineski, like, he just holds the mid tower, no problem. He also gets farm. All of this works out for them. And that's why for the first time in forever, well, for like 2 seconds, they got the net worth lead. They were lagging behind the entirety of last game.
It's a little surprising, right, that they've taken 3 tier 1 towers. One of them was denied, sure, but still 3 towers off the map, and Mineski is still only barely like 100 or 200 up in net worth right now.
Yeah, I will say, because it's the caveat of the Naga Siren with her Hand of Midas, which is not an item we often see on Naga Sirens for obvious reasons.
Yeah, Virtus.pro, they defeated the Mineski Naga Siren, the offlane Naga Siren here. They're going to take Naga Siren into their own hands and show Mineski how it's done. The smoke is going to run into each other, but Ragey Potato running into no one. That's not really the hero they can go for and gank. Oh, the Fissure was almost perfectly timed. Now they're going to be able to get the glimpse back, though, and Ragey Potato is in trouble. Goes for the silence. They do not have the Reaper Sight, nor do they need it, as the Wrath of Nature will be able to finish up that puck. Ninja Boogie does manage to land the Ice Path here. Ajit just going to run down this captain, and no one's a bit low on mana. And with this many heroes, they might be able to catch him unless a good Fissure block comes out from Roger. That will separate the 2 teams enough that the Necrophos retreats. Pasha does take the offlane tower in the meantime.
And look at the build from the Ember Spirit, by the way. This is not something that I see often, if at all.
Yeah, what do you think? They just need a Spirit Vessel so badly?
I guess so.
Against the Necrophos?
He feels like he needs to create this like mid-game timing, be very aggressive onto no one, as Look at Ninja Boogie just juking him outside their shoes.
That is amazing.
I think he's okay. I think he's going to cut to the right. You should clap for this. This was sick.
The 1%. And that certainly was a 1%. What a beautiful little juke through, making good use of that quelling blade, because he's saying, hey, I mean, I'm matched up against a Furion. He's going to sprout people. I might as well have some way to clear through trees, and allows him to get away here. 6-7, Virtus.pro, as they start taking towers, will swing that net worth a little bit more determinedly in their favor. What are your thoughts on this Anamitis, by the way? I know you said not really a Naga item.
I think most people don't love Hanamitis on heroes like that, because all it does is it's purely for farm and XP. On a hero like Naga, the attack speed that she benefits from is sort of marginal.
Yeah.
So I think I'm okay with it, because he hasn't been pressured at all. Like, it works if you're not being pressured whatsoever, and this Naga isn't. And they don't really need her to fight. Like, they've been taking fights without her comfortably as Raging Potato.
He does have an orb coming up in a second here, but that's why the Reaper Sight is immediately used by no one. He knows he has the damage to ensure the kill. As long as they have a disable here, Pasha will reveal KP, or KP will reveal a kill onto Pasha instead. But now they're at a disable, and they may not have the damage. No, they barely get it. Pasha is just milliseconds from being able to complete that TP, but unable to do so. And that's going to give Mineski an advantage here, as 20 seconds till the next round of bounty runes are up.
I thought he was out of there for a second.
Yeah.
Nice attempt, but bounty runes spawning. It looks like they should at least trade one of them.
Maybe 3. Nagasiren actually has illusions in position at
setting
top,
up,
but they're going to go for it. Yule Scepter goes out the Fissure, making sure there's no chain stun from KP here, but he's got to get around these treants, and Pasha's just not letting him. One treant stands in front long enough for them to be able to get the glimpse range. Make a kill now for no one.
I think they did get 4 bounty runes though, right?
It was
3-1.
Yeah.
It's not the worst trade in the world. They are smoked up though on the 2 supports. Looks like they want to make the long wrap around, but they don't know. Mineski's also smoked up.
Slight chains, catches Roger. Silence to be able to catch the Disruptor in the back line as well. The Spirit Vessel still ticking on Roger and will be enough damage, but couldn't dodge the ensnare out from Ramses, so the Puck does fall. Still just a 4-4 position as this fight continues. They're going to get the Ice Path off the Slight Chains, but Ninja Boogie's got to be careful here as the Reaper's Scythe is not available, but no one still does plenty of right-click damage. Nice 2-man silence out from Moonn. This is an opportunity to go in until Ramses resets the fight with a Song of Siren, and they see they want to go for the damage deal in the back line. Immediately go for the silence on Moonn as well as KP. Go for KP first. He does have the Yule Scepter, so instead they turn for Moonn, take apart that Drill Ranger, leave KP for second, which they easily get. Jit is now out of mana here as the Ember Spirit until he pops a wand. Has plenty of mana to work with. That's why he's going to use it all to try and blow up no one, but doesn't have enough. No one with the magic resistance. Now the Reaper side comes back into favor.
Do you want to be
no one. Now he's going to regen up. Raging Potato jumped in, but he's dead as well. Mineski get wiped. Virtus.pro now take full control of this game as they take a 3,000 net worth lead, wiping Mineski off the map, and will take the mid tower.
That sleep combo setup was so sick. And this is what I mean. Against a team like VP, maybe you can have an even laning phase, but what are your team fights going to look like? What is your mid game going to look like? They are so good at setting up around their fights. They always pick these aggressive heroes that can continuously fight too.
Yeah.
They just bludgeon you over time. That fight lasted like 45 seconds, and it led to like 6 heroes dying on the side of Mineski.
And this is part of the risk, I think, of picking up this Drow Ranger. We're going to see that one again as they just kind of got a little bit baited in. They saw that 2-man silence. It was sick, but Ramsey's perfect positioning in the high ground.
Look at that.
And
the
KP
4-man sleep.
Just got a little too close. They see a perfect Static Storm kinetic field combination. And from there, the fight's just over. And again, the Drow Ranger pickup, I feel like a lot of this tournament, the group stage and the early parts of the playoffs, has been about Drow Ranger and whether or not teams have the ability to counter it. And we've seen plenty of heroes, Spectre, PA. We've now seen Nagasiren used to great effectiveness to close the distance on the Drow and completely neutralize her.
And part of it too is that VP's had a lot of practice against Drow. they've given up that hero to multiple teams.
Yes.
And they've given up twice now in this series alone, and it feels like they're still comfortable playing against it because they just have so much experience against it. They're not fearing it in this tournament. The further it goes, even in this loser bracket, it's a hero that a lot of teams find very strong, but it's such a huge boon to them to have that experience playing against it in this tournament and winning against it several times.
Is getting real concerning as KP has begun to become like a total non-factor. He just has a Yule Scepter. He's got no stats behind him, so he's just getting blown up in every fight, and it was supposed to be the idea of a core Leshrac. You have the stats, you can actually do a lot of good AoE damage against this Naga Siren, but instead, he just dies so quickly to the Naga. Pasha's gonna be found here. Zanjit chases him down. Raging Potato gives him the vision, and eventually they will be able to cut him down. Ajit's damage has been slowed down because of the Spirit Vessel, but because of that kill and a little bit of creeps, he will soon have a Maelstrom, which will help out a lot, especially for the Furion and Naga.
They haven't been able to enable KP in either of these games.
Yeah.
Just not really giving him the best chance at a lane. Not really giving him the best heroes to come back and fight with either.
I mean, his game one, like, that was one of the most miserable laning phases I've seen.
He got tri-laned and he was a Naga Siren.
Yeah, he like there was nothing you could do. No matter how good you are in that situation, you're just gonna get zoned out. And this game should have gone a little bit better. Matched up for a lot of time against the solo Necrophos, but the mid game is what turned pretty terrible. As a couple lost fights, and now that Naga Siren, the Hand of Midas, is really paying off. Hasn't really been punished at all and is rapidly getting farther and farther ahead. The stun comes out from the Leshrac, doing some damage to Ramses here. Naga not gonna commit. Oh, geez, the heavy nuke of the Wrath of Nature.
Leaves him with 100, and he's gonna backpedal his way out of there as Pasha faking the TP, but there's no way that he's actually gonna complete that.
Spotting him, looking for the glimpse. Look at Pasha's positioning. He TP's up to the high ground, knowing as long as they get the vision, they'll get the glimpse. And with that, Raging Potato, Reaper's Scythe, see ya for 65 seconds.
That is so long.
And
that is such a long time. That's like 5% of this game that he's going to be dead for now.
Yeah.
And that's the second time I think I've seen him Reaper Scythe. He's been dead for like 10% of this game just through Reaper Scythes. Just been on the sidelines.
Another Maelstrom from the Drow Ranger. I will say, a godlike spree on no one. Mineski's only down by 4,000 net worth. If they can put together one good team fight and kill no one, they'll get so much gold back, but it's been a rough time, and now he's got Guardian Greaves as well as a Plate Mail. And about to get this tier 2. Mineski with their smoke up is trying to set up, getting into position here. They're going to run into this Naga Siren here, but they're trying to control him as much as possible. The Silence should be able to finish him off. There's going to be no Naga Siren in this fight. No reset possibility here. That's why they're going to be able to chase down Solo here. Pasha, no chains. Not going to be able to stop him. So at least they get a support on top of that Naga Siren pickoff. Still missing that big Necrophos kill. That would help a lot, though.
Yeah. Getting the core there, though, is so important for them. They haven't really been able to touch Ramses this entire game. They haven't really punished him for going this greedier Midas build. And finally, 21 minutes into the game, they grab him. But Roger now picks up his big item in the Blink Dagger. They still have a lot of team fight on the side of VP, and they haven't really had to utilize that Naga Siren. The one fight in which he participates in, they set up for that huge mid-game team fight where they were able to grab the tower as well. So Mineski, you can't slow down the pace of this game, I think. You have to continue to look for these engagements.
Just hoping for Raging Potato's sake that he does not die to another Reaper Scythe with a buyback there. We're going to be talking about like a 90-second death timer or something extreme for him. He's trying to finish up a Blink Dagger right now, and he's getting pretty close, but somebody's Blink is already complete, and that's the Roger. His Earthshaker is combat ready now.
I think right now, Mineski
Caught him. Coil goes out, just trying to delay as long as possible, but he had to be able to. Ooh, this is a big kill, though. Pasha, very important. Mineski bring all 3 cores up here, kill him, and his treants too.
think the downside of VP's lineup is it's not super easy for them to Roche. Like their cores,
yeah.
no one can really fight it. Naga Siren's not excellent at it until she gets a lot more items. The Nature's Prophet's not bad whatsoever, and I think that's why, if I saw last he was building for Medallion and a Solar Crest, that would be one way to solve a lot of those problems. Just like have a lot of range heroes and fight into it with some minus armor. Whereas for Mineski, I think it's very easy for them to Roche. That is the benefit that Dro gives you, is that she clears Roshan very quickly.
Yeah.
Ember Spirit's bad at it. Leshrak's not great either, but Dro especially is quite nice at being able to do so. So Mineski's always just one fight away from being able to walk into the Roche pit.
And I do kind of like their itemization here of double Maelstrom, suit Mjolnir for Moonn, as that'll help just, being able to put out a lot more magic damage against both the Necrophos, but also clearing through Treants, being able to clear through Naga Siren illusions. She's got very heavy armor, but the magic damage could help you a lot here. Ice Path leading things off. The Leshrak wasn't sure if he was close enough to get a Split Earth or not. Either way, he doesn't go for it. And Solo actually smokes them up here, but the double damage rune will allow Ramses to continue to go for this Roche. The Medallion, they can actually do it pretty quickly here. The Ice Path goes out, doesn't actually stall whatsoever. They can throw out the Macropyre now. Mineski wants to go in. They need to go in right now because Roshan's about to fall. That's why no one just goes outside the pit. He's going to zone out Mineski while they ensure this Aegis. They're going to try and go for the fast kill on no one, but he does get off the Ghost Shroud in time before the physical damage can follow up. Silence out. Ramsey still able to get it off, though, as he gets to the Manta, into the Song of Siren, and he's going to catch two of these supports. Locked in by the Static Storm. No hope for an escape. One of them will get Reaper's Scythe, and yep, that's 75 seconds on the clock for him. Ninja Boogie eventually falls for a beyond godlike double kill for no one's Necrophos.
Mineski did get the last hit on the Roshan, though.
Oh, really? They did with the Macropyre.
Yeah, either that or I think it was maybe the orb that flew in at the last second. I didn't quite see, but it was a snatch from VP. So overall gold, not the worst thing in the world for them.
Yeah.
Very smart pick up of the Medallion, though.
He's going to be okay. Between the Lotus Orb and the Guardian Greaves, like, they just can't actually keep no one silenced for very long, so he's always able to get off the Ghost Shroud. And
Ramses didn't opt to go for the Diffusal, so not trying to get into this, like, chase fight. More so just trying to get his illusions as tanky as possible. Yeah. Solo pressing forward, was looking for the angle on somebody to glimpse back. And this is why VP always looks so good with this Disruptor. It's just because of how aggressive they are. I mean, Disruptor as a hero looks really bad when you're behind.
Yeah.
But when you're ahead, he looks so broken because nobody gets out for free.
We're going to take a look at that Roshan fight once again. Looks like the orb may have been a little bit late.
It was the Macropyre.
That was like the last tick of Macropyre damage, too. Look, it just falls almost immediately after Roshan dies. They're going to head back into the game. The high ground push is coming out from Pasha. They do manage to get the puck out of there until he's glimpsed back again, but a good Ice Path, kind of zoning some of these heroes and getting some damage on Ramses as well.
Still quite healthy on the side of VP as they try to assail this tower.
Gonna poke and poke until someone from Virtus.pro gets a little too low, and then they can commit at the same time. KP is pushing out the bottom lane, having faith in his team to be able to defend this push 4 versus 5. He calls Virtus.pro's bluff, doesn't back up, and is rewarded with some extra farming time. He really needs that BKB. (13-20). 27 minutes in. Virtus.pro do have a 5,000 net worth lead, but it's a game that feels relatively even. VP is winning, yes, but we just have one good fight. Again, such a large kill bounty on no one especially, that Mineski could take control of the game once again. But they struggle to be able to get even one like really solid team fight in game 1 with their Song of the Siren setup. And game 2, Virtus.pro has been stymieing all their attempts again. Moonn alone in the jungle here. Some nice vision out from Virtus.pro. Knows the Drow Ranger is isolated right here. They're going to be able to catch him.
That's a lot of damage she's putting out, but not going to be quite enough as no one signaling his team already begins the assault onto this mid tower. Everyone else is going to come in now.
Great opportunity to force a buyback here out of a big core.
Look at this with the Solar Crest. Now Ramses is a tower hitter.
Tries to hit Ramses here. They need to
One
be able
way
to
to
get
do
a
it.
strong initiation before they buy back on this Drow Ranger. They're beginning to do some damage. Dual Scepter goes out, trying to get the Split Earth follow-up, but there's Roger with the Fissure. Stop that one. They still have the chains, though. Ramses immediately pops that Manta to try and run away, dodging the Split Earth once again. No one is keeping Ramses pretty healthy, and he's got an Aegis for himself. Lands that stun, a lot of magic damage flowing in onto Ramses. Needs to be able to get KP out though, otherwise he's gonna get Reaper Sight down. Doesn't get the Dual Scepter off. The Reaper Sight wasn't gonna be enough. They get the silence out. The Drow Ranger refusing to buy back. Now they get the coil. Still no buyback whatsoever from the Leshrac either. 3-man Ice Path well set up by the Jakiro, but won't stop him from dying. And finally, we'll have the first buyback. That's gonna be out of the Jakiro.
You're most likely losing
chains.
racks for this.
Maybe they're just going to give up on this mid laner barracks, as you say. Drow Rangers back up. Chains again. 2-man silence as well, but these heroes are still decently healthy, and there's the Song of Siren. They have the Static Storm on the 2 of them here. The Drow Ranger as well as Judge are not going to be able to get out of this one. Now he's going to be forced into a buyback, but the Ember Spirit's going to die as well. Another buyback flowing in. Mineski have to be able to catch some heroes here. They can't let VP simply retreat like this. But the Puck didn't have a coil. He didn't have a way to stop VP from just walking away from such a heavy investment of Mineski.
You see the discipline too from Virtus.pro. As soon as somebody makes the call to go back, they are back as a unit. Nobody blinks out. They're walking back together so that they can be ready to turn around and take a 5-on fight if somebody gets caught. That is discipline, instantly listening to the call at the same time.
Radiant's bottom shrine has fallen.
Mineski got to get out there. 30-minute bounty runes, being 15K behind and giving everything up. That's why Ajit is in the position he is. He's trying to go for the kill on a solo right now. Not getting the bounty rune though, not being able to get the kill either. Has to jump away.
Lotus Orb and heals is going to be enough.
Oh, but they got the glimpse. That's no good. Moonn.
This was the buyback.
100 seconds now, and at this point, VP, they're just going to start running down a lane somewhere. Mineski, quick to be able to push out a wave, hoping to be able to stall as much as possible. Pasha teleports right on top of KP, but no real fight. Roger just keeps on shadowing Raging Potato here. Raging Potato gets hit by the Wrath of Nature, which may signal him something's up until he gets hit by the Fissure and Chant Totem Aftershock stun. No Echo Slam yet, but he's going to come back eventually. Doesn't actually get him as he blinks away, but thanks to the Thunder Strike, they still have the vision.
Yeah, and still 60 seconds on this Drow Ranger, 40 seconds on this Puck. They're at the very least probably going to get 2 sets here as the Puck buys back. But do they have enough damage?
4 versus 5 because Virtus.pro will get megas at this rate. KP leading the way. Dual Scepter. Oh, trying to go for the splitter. Stop at the Song of Siren. Look at that again.
Look
the positioning.
They are
2 heroes grouped up. There's a third kind of on the edges there. They are going to be able to get the Static Storm Reaper side combo that cuts the Ember Spirit down for 140 seconds. And that's just it right there. You don't have any of your cores left. Mineski just gonna watch buildings die and call GG. Give him the good luck further because Virtus.pro are indeed moving on in this lower bracket.
And a very valiant